Mike, Penn State, good win last week against Indiana on neutral field. Well, it was a home game for Indiana, but it was Penn State fans everywhere.
It was very strange. It had a little bit of a bowl game feel to it. A little bit. It was just a whole odd day, and not really in a bad way. It was an interesting day.
Odd day. Penn State runs plays they haven't run in a long time. As you said, instead of running up the middle at the goal line, they run the quarterback on a little sneak, throw out the bracket.
Stunning. Where has that been for the last 40 years?
They could have, as you mentioned in your column, they could have won another
At least one more national championship if they would have trotted that thing out a little earlier.
You mentioned bowls. Talk about the bowl scenarios. They got one game left, Michigan State. It's not going to be an easy one. The Spartans have a lot riding on this game as well on Saturday at Happy Valley. What can Penn State gain from a win, or in general, where are they going come January?
I think there's only two possibilities, and I'm not sure it matters that much whether they win or lose on Saturday to play it out. I'm looking at the Big Ten champion, which let's say it's Wisconsin going to the Rose Bowl. Which case Ohio State, I think, would probably get an at-large BCS. And then you go down to the Capital One Bowl. That's the third one on the tier for the Big Ten. That would be Michigan State. So now you've got the 4 and 5 spots, which are the Outback Bowl and the Gator Bowl.
Okay.
And right now, Iowa and Penn State are tied for 4th place in the Big Ten. Iowa plays Minnesota on Saturday, which they should handle with pretty easily. Penn State obviously has a very tough test. I think if both teams win, or if Penn State loses and Iowa wins, I think Penn State will probably go to the Gator Bowl, which is the next one down, which is in Jacksonville, and it's on New Year's Day. You know, if you're in the top half of the Big Ten, you're playing on New Year's Day because they've got that many bowl ties. So Gator Bowl in Jacksonville against an SEC opponent, maybe Florida. Somebody like that. So it's not a bad scenario. This is one area where the Big Ten is right at the top of the conferences as far as these bowl things.
Now, that's a heck of a matchup if it
Sure.
turns out to be. Joe always sort of gears that he wants to be playing New Year's Day.
He likes New Year's Day.
And that's sort of a barometer if he has a good team or not.
Now, why is that? What's the practical benefit of that, Starkey?
To me, it's 15 extra days of practice.
There you go.
And with this younger team, this is going to be a big payoff for them.
I think so. And it's this season again. I keep going back to this. You go back a month ago after that loss to Illinois, and where they were then and where they are now. I think you got to say it's been pretty successful.
Hey, one more quick thing. Big news out there from your teleconference call. Joe has decided to...
Joe will be back next year, he says.
Shocking.
So, yeah, we're all stunned by that news. But so rest easy, everybody, or whatever your reaction would be. Joe's coming back next year.